Subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell icon for the latest film interviews, features, and recommendations on the movies that matter.
Harsh, it's good to see you. I wanted to start by saying congratulations about Taish and all that, but I think we have to address the elephant in the room. I mean, where are you? This is the strangest interview I've done.
Rajeev sir, before that, I have to tell you, this is a big honor for me. You would not understand. I'm sure you get this a lot, but I'm going to say the cliche thing. I'm from a small town and we have always seen you. And, it's a big milestone for me.
Thank you. No, thank you. Thank you. You were, I really, really enjoyed your performance in Taish. I thought you brought a real intensity. I thought you brought a measured intensity. It's one thing being intense, but I think that it's about how you use it. And I think that, of course, there's the anger and there's the rage on the surface. But I think it's the quieter moments which really reveal what this man is like. But we'll talk about it. Where are you?
So I'm on my way to my next film shoot, which is in Mahabaleshwar. Okay. And nobody knows this, and I don't know when this will be telecasted, because this is the only way they're going to know, because I'm sure they'll get a little, panicky. So I didn't tell anyone. My dinner is being prepared at home, but nobody knows. I've just left. So I just wanted to break from the monotony, and before the shoot, I like to just not be a reactive person, and I want to be in the active zone. So I just wanted to be in my space.
Right. Harsh, you've got all this praise that's been coming in for your performance in Taish. It's only your third Hindi film, but I really feel like you've struck something which you've hit a note which is resonating with people. I think that you found you created a character where you're this big, strong guy, but you're still able to bring out his vulnerability very beautifully. What has this last week been like for you, Harsh? Since the movie dropped, what's this last week been like?
So, this obviously being the biggest, I would say, compliment that I'm in the same frame with you, because I've always seen you, talk about the best of the best cinemas, and this being my high point, the last week. I think people, there's a sense of relief in people who've been, kind of scolding me on Instagram and other platforms ki, "Tum picture kyun nahi karte ho?" And why are you, if you're not getting films, why are you not complaining? Kuch alag zone mein thodi daant mujhe pad rahi thi. That space, I think there's a sense of relief in people. They are very happy. Like, I think mere se zyada wo log khush hai. So last week has been about them, all the people who have been reacting.
Harsh, sometimes it takes an actor some time to find a role that is able to showcase the range of one's talent, just exactly what one is capable of doing. In your first film, Sanam Teri Kasam, as we spoke earlier, I mean, you were the strong, silent type, but Taish really builds on that. As we were saying, it's the vulnerability of this character. There are the angry moments, there are the intense, violent moments. I mean, I love that scene. In fact, the first scene where you walk out of that car and you walk into that wedding, and I mean, before that, you even just casually shoot a guy, and you walk into that wedding and you're a man possessed. But it's really, I actually felt it were the quieter moments. It's the moments with Jahan, the character that Sanjida plays. It's that poem where y'all talk about that dream that you all built together of making that home together. I mean, I think those are the moments that really kind of give you a sense of who this guy is. But do you feel, Harsh, that Taish will be the showreel that shows what you're capable of? I mean, are you sensing that?
So showreel would be a very big word for me. I think every cinema, I think food, cinema, and women, because I'm a man, so I would talk about women. Everyone has a different palate. I've realized that. One dish or one film or one woman, you will never get the same feedback for these three things. I've never got that in my life. And there are a lot of people who resonate with it, but there will always be a lot of people who do not understand why. Maybe they want to see more backstory. So showreel, I don't know, sir, but definitely Bejoy, sir. How do I put it? But I don't know how he trusted me with this, because I always felt it, but I don't know how he saw it. Maybe I read one of his articles where he spoke about him dealing with rage. Maybe he saw it in the, I don't know, because I always felt that I've dealt with whatever, I've
Yeah.
dealt with my um, uh, uh, growing up, and I thought it's always there in the background somewhere. But I think because we live in Bombay, and it's a place where we all come to work together. I don't think rage is a very appreciated emotion, though it's very honest emotion. It's a very it's deep rooted. It comes from childhood. I feel that, but it's not an appreciated emotion. You can't go around showing your age. It's
Yeah.
not practical. But Bejoy sir kind of showcased it in a certain way, which, so for me, you saying that it was controlled and there was vulnerability, it's a compliment to my father, because that's what I've grown up seeing, and he's no more. But I saw this very soft, kind man, very generous, very, very kind. He was not very, very well to do, but whatever he could do, he would do for people. But there was always this, rage around him. So nobody could just come and, mess with him. And in his eyes, small smile, little gaze, those smaller things were the ones which I and my sister used to look at and used to be like, used to totally get it. So one doesn't need to give a big monologue.
Right.
Just a gaze can also do it. So I
Yeah.
think that I'll give it to my father.
You know, what was it like getting into the head of Pali, Harsh? You know, he's a man who, of course, loves and respects his older brother. He's a man whose business, I mean, that's the man whose business he handles. It's a man who he's fiercely loyal to. And then that man betrays him when he goes and marries the girl that he loves. Now, I did read about how you isolated yourself for about a week with no television, no internet, no phone. You went to a home, in a secluded home. But how did you find Pali? Because he's a complex chap. I mean, he separates himself from the elder brother after that betrayal, but he's still very loyal to him. When he's attacked, I mean, he takes it upon himself to seek that revenge. So he's not. I mean, he's a complex man, Pali.
So I don't know. I would blame it on my childhood, or give the credit to my childhood, that
Yeah.
I love the complexities of human beings. I don't see them as a very simple species, and I feel that on screen, when you get a screen time, the more you can give in that little shot, it's you're serving more as a cook, as a chef. I'm just giving more things, maybe those fine little seeds, maybe those expensive seeds, I don't know what to call
Right.
them, but that you garnish them with, but
Correct.
you
Pine
don't
nuts.
need them.
Yes.
Yeah, so you don't need them in the dish, but you just serve it as much as layered as possible. And I have enjoyed layered performances. I feel people who watch these films are very layered. Somewhere in the churning space, it gets lost a little. But I'm a big fan of layered screen time. So for me, I also kind of resonated with Karna's story from Mahabharata, where he was in the wrong dal,
Hmm.
and he was very strong, and the only way to beat him was through chal, through by cheating. And somewhere he was not a bad guy, and he was just wrong. He was a wrong man, and the situations always um, defied him, or what do you say, backstabbed him. But he was not. His core was loyalty, and I think loyalty is a very, very, very underrated quality, sir.
Correct.
Yeah.
You talk with this maturity. You talk about layering. You talk about nuance. Do you feel like you've had opportunities to, up until Taish, to play characters of that nuance and with layers? I know it's only two. I mean, this is only the third Hindi film, so those opportunities take a while to come. But is that something you've been yearning for?
I've been yearning for it, sir, but I failed many times, and I have no shame admitting it. But because it was Bejoy, sir, he could pull it out. I could do a very bad job. I'm very capable of that, so I know it. So I would think that I'm layering it, but the camera just wouldn't capture, and that's the magic of cinema. That's the magic of a cinematographer and the director, that they get into your eyes and take it out. I could do the same thing on a different lens, on a different wide angle lens, and nothing would be visible. And some other director would say, "Ki, you're not even doing anything, you know."
Correct.
But I am internalizing within myself. It wouldn't work. So it's the lensing, sir. It's the lensing. It's the director. If he knows that you're feeling it, he will get into you.
Right.
And that's all credit to him, sir. I'm very capable of doing very bad jobs. I've done a lot of bad jobs.
Did Bejoy ever tell you why he saw you as Pali? Or I mean, did he ever tell you, was it a particular performance? Was it an audition that you gave? I mean, what was it that convinced him you could be this guy?
So I've been asking him for last, I think, 4 years, because he offered me a remake of Mani Ratnam sir's film called Agni Nakshatram. He was going
Right.
to remake it and call it Fitrat. And I thought he's called me, okay. But day before yesterday, I again asked him, Manika, sir, I really want to know, because I've lived a life, I've done some South films. Nobody has put this faith in me. Why? Why did you? And I come across as, I could easily come across as a soft person. You know, I'm a pro at being invisible, because I was a invisible child in the house, and I was rewarded to be invisible. So I can easily not be seen and just vanish. But I don't know, sir. The answer lies with him, and I can't thank him enough, sir.
For someone that left home at 16, Harsh, to with this dream of becoming an actor, how much closer do you feel you are to your goal? And what is the next dream? Of course, you've achieved. You are an actor. You're working. You've worked in Telugu films. You've made Hindi films. But how close to what that dream was have you already reached?
So, as a child, we were two siblings, and so my dad and mom, obviously, they separated when I was very young. So then we had many stepmothers, and then my only memory of childhood is that we wanted to be noticed in the house. And I think it's still the same, sir. We're still just trying to be noticed. And now, if I can call this a house, not my house, a house, I just want to be noticed, sir. I just want to be one of the good options. That's all I want. And once in 2, 3 years, if I can have a chat with you, I'm done, sir. So I'm doing okay.
How much, Harsh, how much does one's childhood and does one's formative years really shape the person? In your case, I mean, how much do you feel like those experiences have shaped the dreams and have shaped, like you said, you wanted to be noticed. You didn't want to be invisible anymore.
Yes.
How much of that has played a part in where you are today and what you want to be today?
I would say, sir, without being in a denial, I would say it's most of it, sir. It's most of my childhood which has made me what I am today. There was a point when I wanted to be invisible in the house for my own good, and I did that. But when I came here, I felt very safe, and I felt ki, Abhi, I can be noticed. It's okay. People can, then you don't need to be invisible. So it does take a lot of time. So slowly and steadily, I see some, shells coming off and some skin, unshedding happening. So I'm feeling that every year, sir. And it is, most of it is childhood is what I feel. And if I approach such characters, little complex characters, I definitely bring them back to their childhood. So I wrote a whole backstory about Pali, sir. His first encounter with a woman with whom Suki was around, his best friend was there. Where did he smoke the first time? The first encounter with alcohol, first encounter with vehicle, his memory about his mother, his memories about his father. Why does he respect the bhabi so much? Because the rotiyan that bhabi made used to resemble the rotiyan that mom used to make. So whenever I looked at bhabi, I would just think of my Pali's mother. So I definitely try and bring them back to the childhood, sir, in the films that it's required. I would not
Correct.
do it in every film. Yeah, yeah.
Right. But what are the films, Harsh? Since you grew up wanting to be an actor, you've said that you wanted it quite early on. You realized that that's what you wanted to do. What were the films that changed your life? Who were the actors that you admired growing up?
So my film, I can't call it my filmography, but the films that I've seen are very strange, sir. Because as a kid, we never had a TV in our room, so I had no exposure of cinema. When I was growing up, I was doing 1,000 odd jobs, like everything possible. So no TV again. no exposure to cinema. Only in the very late stage of my life I was exposed, and I think Matrix blew my mind. Keanu Reeves. Then I saw a scene where Mr. Bachchan told this guy tells Mr. Bachchan कि आपको धंधा करना नहीं आता. So Mr. Bachchan says कि क्यों? कहते अगर आपने इस इमारत के मुझसे 2 लाख कम मांगे होते तो मैं आपको दे देता. मिस्टर बच्चन कहते कि धंधा करना आपको नहीं आता. अगर आपने मुझसे 10 लाख ज्यादा मांगे होते तो मैं आपको वो देता. क्यों आप ऐसा दे देते? कहते यहाँ 20 साल पहले मेरी माँ ईंटें उठाया करती थी. दैट इमोशन, oh God, I had only heard such a things maybe in the house from my father, something which goes back. So sir, these things come from 20 साल लोग लगाते, 30 साल लगाते for that one moment, one thing. Those things blew my mind. And when Mr. Bachchan said कि मैं आज भी फेंके हुए पैसे नहीं उठाता, I was like, damn, कोई है जो ऐसी बातें करता है. Wow, who is this person? ये सब टीवी के अंदर ही होता है. मुझे भी जाना है यहाँ पे.
But Harsh, it's one thing to have a dream. It's
Yes,
one
sir.
thing to want something, but
Yes, sir.
also you were one of hundreds of thousands who have that same dream. What gave you the confidence that you had the talent to make it? Because to have a dream is one thing, but what gives you the confidence that it's not just a dream? I can actually fulfill this. I have what it takes.
So I never thought I had the talent. I still don't think I have the talent. I only have one thing. I have the persistence to learn, sir. And I can learn. You tell me today, I can see some books behind you. I'm very bad at reading. You tell me, Harsh, ये book को ना पूरा समझ के मुझे 2 दिन में इसका पूरा summary दे. I will anyhow do it, sir. So ability to do things is something.
Right.
Sir, I've come out of a ICU after like 2 weeks. I was in, and I'm trying to go to Mahabaleshwar. It's not going to happen. I may crash somewhere in between, but I want to do it, sir. I just want to do things. I don't want to think so much कि घर पे बैठ के doctors say कि ऐसा नहीं करना चाहिए. फिर going by the Google का information and all this. अगर मैं वो करूँगा, sir, I would never leave my house. I would never become an actor. So just the fact I want to get out and do things and continuously do them. कभी तो होएगा, sir. कभी तो हो ही
But
जाएगा.
at 16 to leave your home to become an actor, to move from Gwalior and then to go to Delhi and do all of these first blue collar jobs, then you worked at a BPO and then you came to Mumbai and then again nothing happened. You got a Telugu film, you went to Hyderabad. When your career took off there, you decided to come back to Mumbai. I mean, would you call it self-belief and confidence, or would you call it a little bit of madness? Because some people would say it's a little bit crazy, right, what this guy did?
So it was just a very strong muscular voice inside me, even as a kid, which kept telling me to do what you want. Just do what you want. It had no logic, sir. It had no education behind it. It was just a very raw voice. I could hear it very clearly. It was just push me with physical strength, and it would. I don't know how to. I don't know, sir. Matlab, it was a gut feeling. It was a strong gut feeling that if you want it, keep trying it, keep trying, keep trying, keep trying. That all the little stories that we used to hear about trying as a kid, I
Correct.
took them very seriously, and I just like to keep trying, sir.
Harshit, I read somewhere, I read your explanation, how you sort of explained your understanding of this whole insider-outsider debate. And I thought actually it was I thought what you spoke was very well. What you said is that, you were speaking about the whole insider-outsider debate and about the fact that it's harder for outsiders in the industry. You said it's like going to buy a watch. One tends to buy a branded watch over a no-name brand because there is familiarity.
Yes, sir.
I guess my question is, do you not feel bad then when you get overlooked for perhaps another person?
So my training started in my house when I was overlooked by my father. So I cannot feel bad, sir. I can never feel bad because um, in his gaze, I used to see that, deserve before you desire. And that trained me for life, sir. And I hope I can live by that all my life because it is so simple. If I don't deserve it, how can I desire it? And if I deserve it, then the other person has to be educated about myself or my product. If I'm a salesman, how can I feel bad? ये मेरा सामान नहीं खरीद रहा है. अरे मैंने उसको बेचा ही नहीं. He did not see it. And it's the most easiest thing to blame others in life, sir. It's the easiest thing to complain and crib. But I couldn't afford it, sir. It's a very expensive thing. It's a luxury to crib and complain, because then you're sorted in life, because that's when you crib and complain. But when you left your house at 16, you can't afford it, sir. You can't afford cribbing. So I always thought, if first of all work for it, if you worked on it, be good at it. If you're good at it, make it look okay. And when you made it look okay, make others look at it. And then if they still ignore, then again start the process, again become better. So it started at a very young age. I think, yeah, early age, dad's ignorance was the best training for me, sir.
Harsh, I know that you're going to be doing Haseen Dilruba with Tapsi and Vikrant. What are the choices you'd like to make? I mean, if it were in your hands, what are you hoping that you can do, with this career that you have?
सर एक्चुअली इतना मैंने बहुत ज़्यादा ब्लैक एंड वाइट और बाइनरी नहीं किया है. आई विल बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट विथ यू. आई मे साउंड not so intelligent, but I'm okay with that. But I really don't want to, pen it down कि इतने दिन बाद मेरी कंपनी का इतना शेयर वैल्यू होगा, मार्केट वैल्यू होना चाहिए. नहीं सर, वो पॉसिबल ही नहीं है. दिस इज अ वेरी वेरी ऑर्गेनिक फील्ड. यहाँ पे कुछ भी चीज कुछ भी हो जाती है. किसी भी फिल्म में से छोटा सा रोल हिट हो जाता है. कोई भी फिल्म कभी भी हिट हो जाती है. बड़ी बड़ी फिल्में नहीं चलती है. सो nobody has been able to crack it. I don't want to sound like I'm going to attempt also, sir. So from here, all I want is, like, if I've spoken to you today, I want to make sure you, even if we don't speak for the next 3-4 years, you should look at my work and just smile कि हाँ सही है यार, हाँ ठीक जा रहा है. Even the chai wali auntie below my building, when she looks at me sitting in the jeep, I wave at her, she waves at me. She should feel कि हाँ सही जा रहा है, हाँ ठीक है. That look from 5 or 6 friends of mine, a few directors who trusted me at a very initial stage, आप जैसे लोग, बस सर वो एक स्माइल चाहिए दूर से. वो एक हमारे यहाँ ना ग्वालियर में एक नॉड होता है सर, दूर से ऐसा ऐसा, दैट वही नॉड चाहिए मेरे को सर. बस दूर से एक अंदर से एक फीलिंग आए, वार्म सा रहे. कुछ बहुत बड़ा मुश्किल है सर.
Well, Harsh, I'm quite confident we'll be speaking again very soon, and it's really lovely hearing you, because I think you speak with a lot of honesty, and I think that it comes from, it's very inspiring. Just hearing you sort of chart your own course is beautiful. It also teaches other people that it can be done if you want it and if you're willing to work hard enough. So many congratulations and all the best, Harsh. Have a safe drive to set. Now, please be careful. Ride, of course. Have a safe ride to set. But thank you and all the best, and enjoy this moment. I think you're really lovely in the film, and I hope the next one comes along very soon. Thank you, Harsh.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. It's a big thing for me. Thank you.